Hey, homie. Cheers from 6 feet away. Mr. Dwight, Mark, the man Dwight, is the man who's pretty much trained me for everything. And Justice League, Aquaman, Batman, Superman, and trying to get back in shape, talking about my buddy. We're at non-profit right now, and we're just thinking to ourselves, we're just sitting around doing nothing. Fucking release the Snyder Cut, am I right?
Exactly. Release the Snyder Cut.
Release the fucking Snyder Cut. You know what I mean? Like, what are we waiting for? There's some goodies in there. I'm just going to go ahead and put it out there, so hopefully, generally the shit I put out there comes true. Let's hope it does. Release the fucking Snyder Cut, baby!
Is this thing on? Welcome back to Big Mouth, and fancy seeing you here in June. I'm very welcome, my friends, and especially my enemies. Come in, sit down, no touching. I don't do the touching. If you're feeling charitable, please smash the subscribe button and the like button, and please do follow me on Twitter if you want and like at Movies TV Mad. Announce the Snyder Cut. That's the new hashtag that's going around right now, and still release the air cut. Of course, we are here. It is Wednesday here in Cyprus. It is Wednesday here in Europe. It is probably not Wednesday in many places in the United States of America right now. But when you wake up, you will be realizing before you even have your breakfast at 8 in the morning, or you might have your breakfast, you'll be watching the Man of Steel watch party, baby, with one Zachary Snyder over on Vero. If it doesn't crash, it probably will. So I'll be on Twitter just live tweeting about Man of Steel and hoping the good people within this movement keep me updated with what Zach's saying. I will, of course, I'm sure last time people kind of gave me a link for a YouTube link and stuff like that. Look, Vero can't handle this. I don't get why what I do get why it's exclusively on Vero. Zach wants Vero to get the sponsorships and everything. He wants them to be really, really big and successful, and that's cool. But if they can't handle it, Zach, they can't handle it. And, this is a big day, right? Anyway, that's the only kind of complaint I have, really, because I just want to be able to see Zack Snyder announce the Snyder Cut and talk about the best Superman film of all time, Man of Steel. Wow, what a film that was, by the way. And we mustn't lose sight of that. But yes, a massive, massive day. I just played you Jason Momoa saying, release the fucking Snyder Cut, baby. It's funny how saying effing now is just normal and you don't get your videos blocked or deleted for swearing anymore. Well, if Jason Momoa can do it, I can do it. Look, YouTube, I'm just saying what he said, right? He's a bad influence on me. What can I say? So once I heard that video, I thought, yes, it's happening. It's happening. He didn't do that for nothing. It's definitely happening. He's as happy as Zach. Zach probably put him up to it. And that's cool and very exciting. Now, I'm going to be really, really honest with you here. I never thought this day would come. I never thought this day would ever freaking well come. I fought for it. I wanted it. I still want to see the air cut. I want Zach back for Justice League 2 and 3. But I never thought this day would come. And that's just me being honest. So because I didn't really think this day would ever come, because ultimately the decision was with Warner Brothers and AT&T, it wasn't our decision to make. We could fight, we could hashtag, we could convince them, right, that we're a big fandom that can make them a lot of money, right, which is what we did. We are not toxic, by the way. And let's be clear here, they're doing this because it's going to make them money, not because we bullied them or intimidated them. Ordinary people don't intimidate big companies. The only way big companies get intimidated if they are scared they're going to lose their customers. And they are this is what I spoke about a few weeks ago, because of the lockdown, because of COVID-19, they know their future and their money making isn't as secure as it used to be. So they can't afford to kind of screw up this moment, right? And so, as everyone said, as Screen Rant's already said a few days ago as well, they don't have a Mandalorian to launch HBO Max. Their Mandalorian was the Friends reunion, which was a big deal, which of course they can't do because of social distancing and things like that. I don't know. I suppose they were going to have a live audience and stuff. I don't know how they were going to do it. I think it might have even been live, but anyway, they can't do that. That's going to have to be kind of postponed. So they don't have an event. So I think this probably, I don't know. I believe they've been talking since November the 17th. I think at times, like when all negotiations take place, negotiations break down, they reassert themselves. I think how much money he wanted to go back and, fix some elements of the film that he wanted fixing, like Batman's death, Lois and Clark, Martian Manhunter and things like that. These are things that he wanted to go back, and I don't know how good the VFX is. I know there's VFX in the Snyder Cut. So these were the negotiations that were happening. But one thing's for sure, I think, what strengthened Zack's bargaining kind of chip was that they didn't have an event on HBO Max, and this is massive for Warner Brothers, and especially for AT&T, who have invested and borrowed a hell of a lot of money to buy, Warner Brothers and turn it into Warner Media. It's a very ambitious project. We know how much in debt they are, but all companies are in debt. That's fine. That's not a big deal. I know there's a lot of scaremongering going on, but all ambitious companies are in debt. It's one of those things. It's the way of life. So, but they need this to work. And the Snyder Cut is a massive thing. Whether you like Snyder or not, this has become massive. Everyone's talking about it because it gets clicks and views. We understand that, don't we? So they can't go out and make something. There's no hype around anything on HBO Max, right? Apart from HBO Max. We come up with this idea in the movement before Warner Brothers did, right? This is massive for them. It's like they've got, it's like someone's found a Star Wars movie that's never been seen before, but it was written and directed by George Lucas. This is how massive this is. It's a massive launch thing for them. We know now that there's a poster saying we have the Justice League at HBO Max. We also know that the films listed, one of the films not listed in the list of films that's supposed to be on HBO Max is Joss Whedon's Justice League. People keep on asking me when I'm going to snap that Blu-ray in two. Is it easy to snap a Blu-ray in two, by the way? Because I'm obviously planning on smashing the, cutting the Justice League movie into. Should I snap it or should I take a scissors to it? Would it work with a scissors? I suppose I'm just going to literally do an individual video doing that. So please do attend that, because it's been something I've been promising you guys and girls for a very long time, and I always keep my promises. Mainly I keep my promises. Nobody's perfect, right? It's Christmas Day for us. It's a massive day for us, but I'm surprised this is happening, and part of my surprise scares me, because I wonder what Zack's agreed to here. Now, we know that Zack's always said he would never compromise. The reason that he walked away he walked out on the production of Justice League is because he said he never compromises. And this is why I'm very, very dubious and concerned a little bit. I don't want to be negative, by the way, but I have to think about all the angles. I know the entertainment industry really well, and I know that these things normally don't happen. Studios don't like to admit their mistakes, and their mistakes are nearly buried deep, whether they're human mistakes they don't want to be seen, or other places as well. So I am very, very surprised this is happening. So the question has to be asked, will this be available on launch? Because if this is available on launch, no Martian Manhunter reveal. Surely. If they, unless it's already been done. I don't know. Because unless these things have already been done, and feasibly but then again, Zack's always said on Vera, I think he said like a month or so ago, he still hadn't had the opportunity to film some of the stuff he wanted to put onto the Snyder Cut, right? So if it's out on launch day, that would say the extra bits that he wanted to add are not going to be there. Now, again, it will be disappointing, but again, we're getting his vision. It wouldn't be his complete vision, but at the end of the day, life is full of compromises. So I'm just saying, be prepared for certain things, maybe. So if it's available on launch date, which I would think is very credible, the only way that Zack can get his ultimate vision is if it's available on launch day in episodic form. Now, we've discussed this before. Now, I'm starting to believe that John Aaron Garza and company are actually right about this. And I was resistant, I admit, and I apologise. It wouldn't surprise me if this is going to be in episodic format. Why? Because they want to milk this. Don't forget, they don't, as I've already said, they have nothing. They have no reason for you to sign up for HBO Max, right? Yes, I love Looney Tunes. I would sign up. I'll be honest, I'd sign up to this with or without the Snyder Cut, right? I know that sounds very disloyal. It's not. I'm just being honest. I love Looney Tunes. I love Friends. I love all the stuff that they own. So I'd want this. I can't get this because I'm not in America. There's always ways of getting these things, though. Disney Plus, you know what I mean? Anyway, right? I've already said too much already. But yeah. But they don't have an event. Disney had an event. I don't think longevity-wise Disney Plus is going to be the dominant force. It thinks it's going to be, and the media thinks it's going to be. So that's where I am with that. So long term, I believe HBO Max is the future of streaming in a way. Also Netflix and Amazon Prime, they're too big to destroy. Disney, as I say, Disney just doesn't have the cojones, doesn't have... I just think it only caters to one audience, and they seem resistant. I mean, I have to just steer away from the Snyder Cut just for a split second, as much as I don't want to do that, and to talk about it and just say that Disney bought Fox, right? They own all of Fox's back catalogue of TV shows and movies. They own 24, Die Hard, stuff like that, Aliens, the lot, right? Why on Disney Plus isn't there a 20th Century Fox place? You click onto it, right? It's protected from your kids, so your kids can't see it, and you can sit down with a beer and watch 24. None of this is available. The adult content isn't available. They own this stuff now, and they are not using it. Not even Family Guy, right, or Futurama. They are. This is what I mean. They're only catering their resistance to become, expand their audience is a problem. Because at the end of the day, yes, their animated movies make a lot of money. Their MCU movies make a lot of money. Potentially, Star Wars can do a lot better than it is. But ultimately, can you live off that forever? No, not when you just brought 20th Century Fox. So this is why I think HBO Max is a better option than Disney Plus. I mean, obviously, you can't get Star Wars and stuff, and they're always going to get customers because of that and the MCU. But at the end of the day, if HBO Max do this launch properly, and now we'll go back to the Snyder Cut, having it out in episodes, I don't know, weekly or whatever. I mean, certainly the first episode, and I don't know how long that would be, maybe 90 minutes or something like that, just to give Zach time to finish off the stuff he wants to finish. So he's probably like, the first 90 minutes is probably done, ready, and it's viewable, and it's at the state that Zach wants it to be. So this is why I am starting to suspect that this is going to be launched as a series, and this is massive. And as I've said before, this could be good for Justice League 2 and 3, because then you could have Justice League Season 2, right? Which would be Justice League 2, the movie. Zach could start doing that. And then you could have Justice League 3 as a series as well. This whole thing could be an original. This could be Max Originals, right? The Justice League universe with Zack Snyder, right? This could be massive. And that's why I suspect we are going to see these cut down as episodes. Yes, I know. I would love to sit there with my popcorn and my cola or whatever stuff you like to have while you're watching a movie and just watch the damn film in its purest form as a film. But as I said, this has happened for a reason. Hasn't happened because we've worn them down finally. They know. Our job's done in the sense of them knowing. If they launch this, we have made this a mainstream event, more of a mainstream event than it would have been if it was ever released theatrically in 2017. This has been a big thing. This is on the tips of everyone's tongues. The Snyder Cut, release the Snyder Cut. Zack Snyder's Justice League. This is massive, and this is massive for them. So they could just literally release the movie and say you can stream it when you want. Or they can say, hey, hang on a minute, we're going to release an episode every fortnight or every week, right? An hour and 10 minutes, 90 minutes, right? Only here on HBO Max. Of course, this does create a problem with the international situation because HBO Max won't be available to international audiences. And let me tell you, a lot of Zack's fans are internationally around the world. So they've got to have to get this right, Warner Brothers, because if they don't make this internationally available, and it is literally, you're just going to have to wait till HBO Max is available globally, that is going to be very, very upsetting. And I'm not moving that off the table because that is a possibility, right? Because, nobody had Disney Plus for ages, when it was first launched in America, right? So, and it's only just launched in the UK, and they were only releasing episodes of The Mandalorian weekly, even though it was already available on the American version. So potentially, this could be just something for now that America can only view. Now, don't get me wrong, I will watch it, and I will find ways of watching it. And so when these Hollywood elites go, blah, 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 doing this hurts future movie production, then make stuff available for everyone, not just domestically, right? Anyway, that's what I'm saying. So this is what I'm saying. I was really ranting about this on Monday, and I said, no, I don't want it in episodes. I don't want it in serialized form. But at the end of the day, I just want to see it. And this is the best marketing. To launch HBO Max in this way is massive for them, and they know that. This has happened because of AT&T. They have said this is good business. And I know that AT&T are very angry when they've looked at Warner Brothers books and they've said, why wasn't Batman Begins, Superman Returns and Green Lantern the beginning of a cinematic universe? And the answer from Warner Brothers was, well, they weren't very successful. But what the chief executive of AT&T actually said was, yes, but the MCU wasn't particularly inspiring the Marvel fans at first, but they got there in the end. And they believe that actually Superman Returns, Batman Begins and Green Lantern were good, solid start for a DC shared universe. And I've always shared that opinion as well. It was a mistake. And also what Stanky has said, if they did start with a shared universe then, they would have beat Disney to the punch. So Stanky really wants a DC shared universe. And I do believe he does believe in Zack Snyder. This is a second chance that Zack can't let go. We can't let go. We must support it. We must be positive. It's a really amazing situation for us. So definitely, I do believe that this is going to happen. And I believe today Zack will tell us, and I think this is why another reason Zack wants to tell us first, the episode form being broken by media isn't a good thing because they don't know how to talk, and it's all to enrage people. So Zack wants to do this, and I think the media will respect that. It's a really big day. Again, away from the Snyder Cut, though, Ruby Rose has been removed as Batwoman. Yes, this is a big, big shock. They are going to recast the role. So I'm quickly going to talk about this because it's pretty obvious that nobody's watching this show within reason. I think really in the low thousands. It hasn't done well. It hasn't made the money. And it's typical Hollywood. They are being exposed again. They cast an LGBTQ actor not because of her acting ability, because she has none. She cannot act. The only reason she looked half decent on John Wick is because she didn't have much to do. She's not an actor. The only reason she's in the industry is because she passed the DNA test, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. And even the LGBTQ community didn't approve of this casting. She was literally cast because she was gay. That is ridiculous, not on her talent. That is ridiculous. That cannot stand. She's an embarrassment. When I was watching this year's crossover, I saw her standing next to Grant Gustin. Grant Gustin is a theatrically trained artist in dance, music, performance, and she's standing next to this guy. She's had no training. She couldn't act her way out of a paper bag. I feel bad for Ruby. I like Ruby on a personal level. It's not about that. I'm just saying you can't cast someone because of their sexual, orientation, It's got to be about talent and ability. And it's like Tom Welling. When he first was in Smallville, he wasn't a particularly great actor. He was a model. He was raw. But what was great about Tom Welling, he focused, he learned, he had the potential to be a good, solid actor and a Clark Kent and Superman, and that's how it worked out. Ruby Rose has no potential whatsoever. She shouldn't be in the industry. She shouldn't be acting. This is a brave decision. Of course, she's saying she decided to move on. It's not true. She was removed because she simply wasn't good enough. And as I've said before, I don't know what happens to the showrunners if they remain. But I know these showrunners. They were responsible. I think one of them, is it a one showrunner or two? I think it's one. But one of them, I forgot her name, she was very heavily involved in Smallville. She wrote quite a few Smallville episodes. Good Smallville episodes as well. So I think they haven't given her enough creative control, and is it Caroline Dries? That's it. They really need to give her more creative control, because Batwoman in the graphic novels is a great character, and they've totally watered it down, and it's terrible. And they're introducing Batman. They're introducing Batman for a reason, because this show is in trouble. So they're trying to garner people back. As usual, we talk about strong female leads, and they need an iconic male character to save their butts. It's been an amazing 2.5 years. It's been massive. When I first started this channel, nearly 2 years ago now, right? We were in the middle of this fight. And as I said, I never thought, look, I'm not a liar. I'm not going to say I always knew we could do it, right? It wouldn't have happened without us or Zach, what he was doing and what he was manipulating in a good way, in a clever way, in a smart way, in a gangster kind of way, which is, I admire it, right? But I never thought it was going to happen. I never believed it would happen. I never believed that Warner Brothers would cave. And I think without the AT&T merger, it was never going to happen. So thankfully, AT&T are a very greedy, ambitious company, and they want to make money. But that's the whole point. It's about making money, and it's about entertaining audiences. And I've spoken about this before. The feeling in Hollywood now is about ideology and not entertainment. And also they talk about, entitled fandom. And I've said before, we are entitled. I actually posted an analogy on Twitter this morning, and this is my analogy about Joss Whedon's Justice League. It's like I went to the local store to buy a lovely ice-cold Coca-Cola, right? And I was about to drink it, and it actually was vinegar. That's what Joss Whedon's Justice League is. I went in there thinking that this was a film Zach had to walk away from near the end because of the tragic loss of his daughter, right? And it ended up being a film that wasn't Zack Snyder's film. He had 2 or 3 sequences of his in, and that was it. The rest was reshoots. Joss Whedon, I don't blame him. I don't hate Joss Whedon. I respect him. Buffy and Angel are 2 of the best things ever made. The first Avengers movie was amazing. Avengers 2 was okay. So, he's a talented guy. But nobody can come in and given such, little time to actually create a totally brand new movie with a brand new vision and get away with it. It's why the CGI on Henry was bad. It's why the CGI full stop was bad. They rushed the guy. It wasn't his fault. He would have made something better. He just didn't have the time. It was ridiculous. He came in, not because Zach asked him. He came in because he'd always wanted to do a Batgirl movie. They promised him that. Sujihara promised him that. He got his 30 pieces of silver. And ultimately, the whole thing failed. And this is karma, people. Everything that's happened is karma. Joss Whedon's Justice League failing, losing the money, karma, right? AT&T buying Warner Brothers, karma, right? It's all turned around. And now, it's all very, very interesting who actually made this decision. AT&T, Walter Hamada. This isn't, because the Snyder Cut was a bigger deal than a department head saying yes or no. And this is why a lot of people trying to say, oh, he's not going to be happy about this, blah, blah, blah. I don't think he ever had the power to release the Snyder Cut, but writing letters to him was very good. This was always a studio, a company, president decision, Ann Sarnoff was very important. The way we greeted her into the company was very important as a movement. I think this was a company decision because it was that big. It's like Warner Brothers killed someone and tried to hide the body, but their leg was sticking out. And Zack Snyder was the sticking out leg because he kept on posting pictures and letting us know what the film was going to be about. Now, one thing that's very interesting and very obvious, when he did his shot-by-shot commentary of Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, he did that little monologue at the end. oh, it wouldn't be great to see these characters together. Someone should do that. That was done because he knew it was happening. He knew it was happening then. That's obvious, but they didn't want to announce it then. So if he knew it was happening then, surely he must have been fixing the film up and doing stuff. As Jason Momoa hinted quite a few months ago, you don't think Zack could do that? Yes. So it's obviously they can digitally do stuff from their own homes. We know Zack's got a whole studio in his house anyway. So at the end of the day, it is happening. I do think it's going to happen in episodic form. I know a lot of people will be disappointed about that, but it will give Zack a chance to finish the whole thing off as well. As I say, as a DC fan, as a Superman fan, as a fan of Batman and all of these characters, there's nothing more exciting for me. Forget about what was done to Zack, which was terrible, and I've always wanted him to have justice for him, for Deb, and for Autumn's memory. And hopefully Autumn, her name's on the credits of this film or the episodes or whatever, right? That's important as well. But that's Zack's decision, of course. But I do think that we are here. We have arrived. But as a Justice League fan, as a DC fan, as a kid, I've always dreamt of having that awesome, epic Justice League movie to see. We were all excited about the theatrical version. We were betrayed and Zack was betrayed. And now, hopefully, potentially, we have got either an awesome Justice League series to watch or a Justice League movie to watch. Live action with Darkseid, Green Lantern, Martian Manhunter, black-suited Superman, right? Under Darkseid's control. How awesome is that? This is all very, very, very special. This is all part of the man's amazing vision. And his vision is something that I've fantasized about ever since I was a kid. A singing or dancing, epic, awesome, Justice League live action vision. Movie, TV show, who cares, right? That's what Zack Snyder did here, but they didn't like it because they were under pressure to have a light and funny movie, and that didn't work. It didn't work. I mean, lots of people have tried to say Joss Whedon's Justice League is better than Batman v Superman. Those people are amazing. And just closing up, is it Andy Sigmore from Fandom Wire said the only reason he said all those lies about the Snyder Cut not happening is because he wanted to kick dirt in our eyes because we are so toxic and terrible people. Yes, Andy, that's the reason you lied. You lied to get clicks and subs, mate. You failed. You failed. You can keep on blocking us, but you are a liar. You are not a journalist. You're not even a good journalist. You're not even a good person. And you mentioning the stuff we brought up from your past is absolutely despicable. You are clearly not a very nice person. And I'm assuming Fandom Wire is your baby, should I say? Well, you have hurt your baby, and now you've turned around like a windmill on a very stormy day, saying you've got new information, right? You haven't got new information. The information was there already. Zack Snyder has been negotiating with AT&T and Warner Brothers since November the 17th, which you know. You did something horrible and cruel because you don't like us. People like you don't like the customer, the consumer, to have control and to have power. But we do have the power because we pay for this stuff that's being made by these big elitists. And anyone who doesn't like the fact that consumers now know, thanks to us and the Fandom Menace, that we do have power, because ultimately I'm paying for the cola. So I want it to be cola and not vinegar. And elitists like you, Andy, just don't like it, and you never will. Anyway, enough of the negativity. We are not toxic. We are good people. We have become a big, huge family, a family I want to keep in contact with for the rest of my life, especially. I mean, how many people can boast during this lockdown pandemic that they've had a second family to talk to and let their frustrations out with, and sometimes at? That's what families are for as well, isn't it? So proud of this Snyder Cut family. It's been a great ride. Chris Wong Svensson, you should not have got rid of the tinfoil hat, mate. Justice League 2, Justice League 3. Will Zack come back full time? These are things you could have kept on putting the tinfoil hat on. And I didn't realise there was a real hat under that either. Pretty cool, right? I know, small things, please, small minds, but yes, and it's all part of the Snyder Cut movement. isn't it? So big day. I can't wait to watch 6 o'clock Cyprus time to watch the Man of Steel watch party. I don't know when he's going to announce it, if he's going to announce it. It's either going to be the best day ever or the most hurtful, heartbreaking day ever. And I've had my heart broken too many times about Justice League. It's time to make these fans, us, the fans, happy. You know, the fans all over the world at last. Give us this. It's not about deserving. It's not about who deserves what. This is an entertainment industry. So entertain us and announce the Snyder Cut and release the Air Cut. Comment down below, like, share and subscribe. And if this happens later on today, that video of me snapping that Justice League Blu-ray will happen later on today. So look out for that too. See you later. I will be back.